Hi, welcome to this month's episode of The Mashup Factory, where culture and commerce collide. What do books and public transportation have in common? If you've been on a commuter rail lately, it's probably hard to imagine that at one time, taking the Long Island Railroad was an ultra-elite experience reserved only for the privileged few, with ornate parlor bars and mahogany-paneled and gas-lit dining cars serving four-star cuisine that rivaled some of the best restaurants in the city. The books that people read on those trains have also come down more than a few pegs on the status scale since the days when a book cost as much as an average American family earned in 6 months. So, what will become of these pillars of the American experience? Today, on Long Island, the birthplace of the American suburb and the home of the very first American commuter railroad, we're going in search of what books and public transportation have in common.
Well, I hear my train a-coming. Hear my train a-coming. Well, I hear my train a-coming.
The East Hampton train station, the home of the LIRR out on the East End. Even though, as we all know, that train travel today is not quite the luxury experience it once was. Back in the day, in the 1800s, the trains that passed through here were for the uber elite.
Down around the corner, a half a mile from here, you see them old trains.
Today, disruption, as we're going to look at it through the lens of transportation and books today, is based on one simple thing: always break the rules. So we're going to actually go into the East Hampton train station that was once the home of the luxury elite, more reflective of what public transportation has become and why it needs a new makeover. Not really a luxury experience, more like an abandoned pit. Can you believe that this is actually a historic landmark? Clearly an area of society ready to be reimagined. Most luxury transportation vehicles, as you'll see today, are very heavily infused with technology and run on apps. Not quite so much the case with the LIRR, making it a vehicle of transport in much need of reinvention.
I hear the train a-coming, it's rolling around the bend.
I never followed the rules. Oh well. Public transportation in America has gone onto the wrong side of the tracks. Hopefully today, we'll see how we can right that ship. What's interesting is that the car, like the one we're in right now, is what used to be, and still is to a certain extent, the primary mechanism of commuting. But that is something that is rapidly changing, and as a result of that shift, that's why it's going to become even more and more important that public transportation is reimagined, and if it's a luxury experience, all the better. So here we are today at Harper's Books, right in the middle of downtown East Hampton, and we're in front of one of the coolest places that is leading the trend of bookstores reimagined as luxury experiences. Interesting, this is taking place in East Hampton, which is one of the meccas of art married with commerce that's setting trends that are being followed all around the world. Harper's Books is known for fusing different types of art and photography, specifically, together with a book experience to reimagine what bookstores can be. Let's go in and take a look.
All around, a lousy candles all out. Well, you don't know.
I'm here with Harper Levine today at Harper's Books in East Hampton. Harper, thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much for coming. Well, Harper's Books began in 1997 as a small business in St. Paul, Minnesota. It was right when the internet started.
Okay.
And at that point, we were just selling rare books. Actually, they weren't even so rare. It was basically we would go to other used and rare bookstores, we'd buy a book for $5 and sell it for $15.
And when did you start to think about the trend of fusing, art and into commerce, the commerce of selling books?
That was when we moved here, which was in the fall of 2001. It was through having the shop and interacting with artists that we really saw how these two things, books and art, mixed.
Who said alcohol is not inspirational?
Why don't you come with me, little girl, on a magic carpet ride? Well, you don't know what we can see.
So we actually just walked down the street a few feet, and we have another art book gallery called Glenn Horowitz Bookseller. Very, very interesting that within a 2-foot radius, that the new trend, going against the grain of Amazon supposedly putting bookstores out of business, clearly this is the wave of the future. Books reimagined as luxury experiences, fusing art and commerce together.
Hello world is a song that we're singing.
We are here in East Hampton in front of the Palm, which is very well known to be the site of the Hampton Jitney and Ambassador pickup and drop-off here in East Hampton. It's very interesting that, as we look at how public transportation is continuing to become more and more of a luxury experience, the Jitney actually started that trend a while back, offering a luxury experience from the Hamptons back to Manhattan, helping to transform the commuter experience. And then a couple of years ago, Ambassador launched their offering, which was even a step up above the Jitney. So we're awaiting the arrival of the 2 luxury buses here, but we're also going to be exploring how that trend is continuing to evolve with the advent of technology. If you'll notice, there are many, many cabs lined up to take people once they get off the Jitney and the Ambassador to their locations here in the Hamptons. But, just like Uber has revolutionized how people get around a lot of metropolitan locations, the Hamptons is no different. We have the Hamptons Hopper that was launched this summer. That's an app-driven device that is designed to really help people with local commuting and travel. You just click on it. It tells you all of the different points of where the buses are located in real time so you can track your ride. It also gives you an overview of all the different places that it stops. So Southampton Village, East Hampton Village, or even some very specific, well-known, landmark places like Cyril's Fish House, Montauk Village, and the famous Lobster Lunch.
I'm on that Google bus. I'm listening.
This is the RidePal app, which just launched this week in LA, and it's also available all over the San Francisco Valley. As you can see, San Francisco into Sunnyvale. For those of you who don't know, Sunnyvale is one of the hottest places for technology innovation in Silicon Valley. Venice just launched. Venice is now being called Silicon Beach in the Los Angeles region. You can also, use the service to go shopping for odds and ends at places like Walmart, and really cool app that basically allows you to commute to and from work, GPS system based for a very economical fee. As we discussed, succeeding in today's sharing and collaborative commerce economy is all about breaking the rules. But sometimes you gotta color within the lines. So we're here at the East Hampton Airport as we're concluding our journey, and we wanted to stop and see, this is what luxury transportation used to be all about, only available to the uber elites. These are private jets. The rides themselves cost in the thousands of dollars. The planes themselves cost in the multi-millions. But Blade, which is the latest app from Uber, launched this summer, and it's a charter-shared Uber Elite helicopter service that flies back and forth from the Hamptons, one of the first to help reimagine public transportation. So we're going to show you some footage of Blade in progress, but we wanted to show you the runways of East Hampton of yesterday and today and tomorrow.
Helicopters chasing animals through the field.
for books in the Hamptons to new generation luxury buses like Boston's Bridge or Silicon Valley's Ride Pal, and indie bookstores like Parnassus Books in Nashville or the Last Bookstore in Los Angeles, the glory days of books and public transportation are making a comeback. And just like the railroad coming through way back in the 1800s shaped East Hampton into the mecca of haute couture that it is today, pockets of innovation are popping up all along these new tracks of innovation, changing the way we travel, work, and play. I'm Billy Howard, wishing you happy tales and happy trails. There's a new counterculture in town. Here's to we, not me, finding it. Break on through. Until next time, I'm Billy Howard.
Try to run, try to hide, break on through to the other side, break on through to the other side, break on through to the other side, yeah. We chased our pleasures here.